went 10 months without secular music, and it changed my entire relationship with God. I'll be sharing with you why it was necessary for me to do this, exactly what I learned throughout this entire process, and how you can start doing this yourself. And I'm planning to do a video series on this for the next couple of weeks, so please subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. Cutting off secular music allowed me to see just how much noise I was allowing into my life without even realizing it. But first, we have to get into why I even did this. Cutting off secular music. It's really weird, right? It's very much unheard of. The first video I made about doing this had a bunch of angry people in the comments saying that it was really cultish of me to do this. But I didn't give up secular music because someone else told me to. I did it right after I realized just how emotionally tied I was to certain songs. Songs that, on the surface, seemed harmless, but underneath stirred up so much pain. Old situations that I hadn't yet healed from, even though they happened years ago. And I kept wondering why those wounds were still there. But then I realized secular music is the knife I kept using on myself to cut open the wound again and again daily. So after only shifting to worship music, because it was the only thing that I was comfortable with at the time, I began to realize that hey, this healing process is actually so much easier. I'm no longer thinking about the people who hurt me. I'm not thinking about the heartbreak. And I'm not singing about it and feeding that emotion in me. I'm not singing about wanting to take revenge on them, hating them, despising them, and hoping the worst for them. Instead, I was setting my mind on the things above. I found myself far from the situation, no longer so close to it. I used to constantly analyze situations as if they had just happened. So by cutting off secular music, I finally separated myself from painful lyrics, and this truly helped me to see the bigger picture, and it allowed me to finally forgive those people and actually appreciate those situations for helping me to grow rather than constantly resenting them and hating myself for letting myself experience those things. And because secular music used to be my foundation for going through my emotions, letting myself feel them, it feels harmless until it isn't. And so this is what I realized throughout this entire process and why I'm definitely not going back to it again after this experiment. About a month into cutting off secular music, these were some changes I really did not expect. I could focus more when I prayed, and it was easier to memorize verses. And I was meditating on scripture with ease, because what used to fill the silence is gone. You know how songs get stuck in your head? All of those heartbreak songs were gone when I cut them off. And so they were replaced with music that meditates on God. And because of that, I felt more connected to God's love. And when I felt sad, I immediately went to God instead of the music, because I felt like I could just sit in his presence. And because this kind of music filled the silence instead, I felt like I could hear God's voice more clearly. I wasn't as emotionally scattered, and worship started to feel more personal. My mood was more stable, more peaceful, and the songs that I replaced with secular music genuinely were feeding my soul instead of feeding my volatile emotions. I also learned that Christian music isn't boring. It really isn't, y'all. You just have to find the right people and the right artists and the right songs. There's always a Christian artist that has the same music taste as you. I'll give y'all my recommendations in a future video. But anyway, this act of obedience helped my relationship with God. It was a sacrifice that I was willing to give to him. And I believe that's why it opened doors for me. It actually helped to set me apart from other dating prospects for my fiance. I'll go into more details on that in a future video. But in short, it really showed my fiance just how serious I was about God. Now let's talk about how you can start to do this for yourself. It was really hard to cut off secular music, so doing this is such a tough ask. I say this because I know. It took me months before I actually committed to this. Music has always been my comfort, my mood booster, my coping mechanism. And so that's why I could only cut it off gradually. So that's why I want to help you make this transition as easy as possible. I made a Spotify playlist already, so you can pick the ones that you like. And also because I have a very specific taste in music and worship music, I'm quite picky. So you best believe everything on that playlist is good and Jessiah approved. And honestly, this was the hardest part about quitting. I thought letting go of secular music would feel restrictive, but it actually really felt like freedom. I wasn't constantly being pulled in 10 different emotional directions. I started thinking more clearly, hearing God more consistently, and really started to crave his presence. Plus, I found Christian music that I genuinely like and am not bored by. Again, you can check the playlist down below. Out of all of my lessons, this is probably the most surprising to me, because Christian music has a very bad reputation of being boring. But I promise you, it's really not. You just need to find the right artist. Throughout this whole journey, I genuinely realized that there are so many options to choose from in Christian music alone. Ones that actually sound amazing. Ooh, but let me know what genres you like listening to, and maybe in a future video I can give you very specific recommendations. Subscribe so you'll know when the video is out. But anyway, secular music is so spiritual, y'all, and it's not to be taken lightly. And you won't know how loud the world is until you unplug from it. So if you decide to cut off secular music based off of this video, just know that it shouldn't be a very daunting task. Think of it as a fast. Just challenge yourself to cutting it off for a day, a week, a month, whatever God calls you to. And as you make room for him, watch how he speaks. Watch how your heart softens. Anyway, if this video inspired you and if you learned something, please give this video a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. And since I plan to make more videos like this exact topic in the coming weeks, let me know what else you want to see from me. And if you need more reminders of God's love for you, reminders to set your minds on the things above, check out these posters that I made for you. Link in the description and link here or here. Let's keep walking in obedience and purity together. God bless. I can only do half heart because I have a mic now. So you have to complete it. You have to complete it. Thank you.